In math today, we're going to continue to decompose. And decompose means break apart. So get your cubes ready for this lesson because you're going to be using them to break apart, decompose. So yesterday in Miss Mosley's video, you were talking about decomposing 5. So I have 5 cubes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can decompose it and break it into 2 parts. 2 and 3 is 5, just like a number sentence, but I can write it 5 equals 2 plus 3. So we're going to continue decomposing, but we're going to work with 4, 3, and 2 today. So let's read our DLO, and then in your journal, you have some spiral notebooks that you got in your materials bag, your school supply bag. So you'll need one of those today to draw your pictures and write these equations. And get your cubes because it's easy to use our cubes to break apart when we decompose. All right, let's go over our DLO, our daily learning objective. It's long today, so I'll read it, and then when it's your turn, I'll go slow. Today I will write equations to show parts of 4, 3, and 2, and solve problems. Now it's your turn. Repeat after me. Today I will write equations to show parts of 4, 3, and 2, and solve problems. All right, so I'm going to draw a picture first, and I'm not using all the ones from your examples that you have on Schoology, but I'll do some variations of them so that we can practice breaking apart. So use your cubes to break apart, but in your spiral notebook, you'll draw circles. Circles are the easiest things and quickest to show us. So you will need both sets of your cubes. You only need 4 of each. And we'll use both colors because to show the different parts, we can use 2 different colors, which is easy as a visual. That's one of the strategies we can use, is using the 2 different colors. Okay, so I'm going to break apart my cubes, and then we're going to write an equation. And then what you'll do is you'll write the equation and color the pictures in your journal. I'll start with my blue first. I'm going to break apart. So I've got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's break it apart. I decomposed it. So 4 can equal 1 plus 3. 1, 2, 3. So now I'm going to put these up on the board and then write an equation. Where are my clippies? Here they are. I use these little grabbers, but I want to keep them all together. So I broke apart 4. And I have 1. Let's see if that'll hold up sideways. Nope. So I'll have to keep it like that. But I want it sideways. There we go. I broke up 4. Now let's write an equation and solve it. I had 4 altogether, so we're going to write it the math way. The math way looks backwards than our regular equations. The math way would be, I had 4, so I'll write, we decided green doesn't show up as well for you guys. Blue works best. Black. I had 4. The math way is 4 equals, I'm going to decompose it and break it apart. I'll scooch it over a little bit more. That's my first number, 1. And I'm adding today, so my operation is plus 1 plus, how many more? What's the other part? 1, 2, 3. Around the tree, that's the way you make a 3. So the math way to write this is 4 equals 1 plus 3. When we decompose, this is how we write our equations, the math way. So it's just backwards because when we decompose, we had a whole. A whole is all together at first. Then we decomposed it, we broke apart. So we had 4, we broke it apart into 3 plus 1. Let's do another one. I'm going to use 4 again. So I'll put them back together, and then I'll decompose it. I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's decompose it. 4 equals 2 plus 2. So I'll put my little guys up here. I want it to be sideways because it's an easier visual for you to see. I'll do it like this. I'm so clever. How many did we have at first? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 equals, because I'm going to decompose. Decompose means break apart. I have 2 here. 1, 2. 4 equals 2 plus, how many more? 1, 2. 2. I wrote it the decomposing way, the math way, because I had a whole, which was 4, and I broke it apart. I decomposed it. When I broke it apart, I found 2 plus 2. All right, let's do another one. I guess you don't need 2 different colors today. But now I'll use my markers. I wanted to show you with the cubes. No, I'm going to use the markers. I've decided. All right, 2 different colors. You can use crayons or colored pencils. Those work best. Let's start with 3. I have 1, 2, 3. I'm going to decompose it. So how many did we start with? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 equals, because I'm going to break it apart, decompose. 3 equals, let's see if you can see. Colored 1 blue, and 2 will be red. So I broke it apart with my colors. I have 3 as a total. Let's break it apart. How many blue do I have? 1. Plus, how many red do I have? 2. 3 equals 1 plus 2. So I have it shown here. 1 plus 2 more. I wrote it in a decomposing way so I could break 3 apart because I started with 3, just like my cubes. I started with 3 and I broke it apart into my equation. 1 plus 2. Okay, let's do another one. I'm going to use 3 as an example again. How many do we have? 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 equals, I'm going to try to trick you today. So normally, when we decompose, we break apart. But we have a number that means nothing. What number means nothing? 0. So 3 equals, I'm going to use 0 because I don't have a blue one, plus, how many red? 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't let 0 trick you. It can be a tricky number sometimes because it has 0 quantity, but it's still a number. So my equation here is 3, because I started with 3, equals, I'm going to break it apart, 0 plus 3. If I wrote it the regular equation way, 3 plus 0 equals 3, it means the same thing, it's just backwards. So don't let 0 trick you. You could also write this, 3 equals 3 plus 0. So in your assignment today, you have a couple that have 0 in it. Don't let it trick you. If you see a 0, it means there's only going to be one color. All right, let's do another one. Draw my circles. Yep, we're going to work with 2 right now. 2. If I have 2 cubes, I can break it apart. But first, let me write my number. How many do we have? 1, 2. 2 plus equals, 2 equals, how could we break 2 apart? What do you think? Take 2 cubes and decompose it. Break it apart. We have 2 parts now for our equation. My words are getting all jumbled. How many are here? 1. How many are here? 1. So if I were to color it, I would say a blue and a red to show my 2 parts. 2 equals, how many blue? 1. Plus, how many red? 1. 2 equals 1 plus 1. So if I were to use my 2 different cubes, I have 2, and I'm going to decompose it, break it apart. Now I have 1 and 1. 2 equals 1 and 1. Now let me see if I can trick you. I don't want to trick you, but you're going to be smarter than the 0. How many did we start with? 1, 2. Start with 2. Equals, we're decomposing it, except these are the same color. So if it's the same color, you're going to write a 0. 2 equals 2 plus, how many more? 0, because there's no other circles that are a different color, and they stayed the same color. You could also write this 2 equals 0 plus 2. When you add, these numbers can be in a different spot because the total, your sum, will stay the same. So in your spiral notebook, I'm going to open it up, and I have written equations for you. So you will have an equation that will look like this. 2 equals 2 plus 0. In your book, you will have to write this down and draw a picture that matches. So if I see 2 equals 2 plus 0, draw what we just did. 2 plus 0 equals 2. You'll have another one similar to this. 3 plus, oh my goodness, decomposing, Miss Hawkins, equals 1 plus 2. So if you're going to decompose it with your 2 colors, 3 equals 1. How many should be blue? 1. Plus 2. Use a different color. It helps. It's a good visual to see it. Then it's broken apart. 3 equals 1 plus 2. I did 1 blue, and I did 2 red. I'll do one more for you. You won't have any 5s today, but I'll just do a 5. 5 equals 4 plus 1. 5 equals 4. I'll do 4 blue plus 1 more. So I'll use that in red. In your notebook, write the equations, decompose them, and show me with 2 different colors. And that is what you'll work on today. And now it's your turn.